Alright, welcome to the first edition of the 1088XLD assembly videos. Bill of materials on the screen here. Let's start with capacitors. And let's start with the 0.1 microfarad. Let's start at the beginning. Where is C1? Is it at the front? C3, C4, C2, C1. Let's start at C1. Let's do it that way. Wonderful. This thing's been lying around for, well, months, I have to say. Yeah. The rest of the beta testers were just flying along. It took me a while to get a kit, actually. Okay, C1 to C3 to C12. C3 to C12, so with the bill of materials, if it's C1, C2, C3 to C12, then why not just put C1 to C12? Just put a bit of a correction report in on the bill of materials. Odd wording. Right. I'm going to try and bend these in because I'm not happy with the way the legs are sticking out there. So I'm going to keep going until C12 and then I'll stop. And up to C12. C12. Notice the iron tip is reasonably thick. Oh Christ, I can't even get into that one. Jesus. 4-layer board, so I've noticed some people are having problems getting solder to flow, solder to flow. I tend to think it's the lack of heat. Look reasonably straight. Straight enough. Nice, we've got something on the board, finally. They look very nice, don't they? Little blue caps. So, after C12 we go to C15. Okay, they all went in nice and neatly, nice and neat. So we are finished with these ones now, so we can move on to the next value and see how many we can get on the board. See if there are any more capacitors that are labelled that I can actually identify that we can actually put on reliably. What else have we got on the list here? So let's grab the mouse and have a little look at what's what. Right. How about we go back further up the list, 22 picofarad, and we've got one of those here, and that one goes into C13. So, we should be around about, where the hell are we here? C13, 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 C13. There we go. That little fella's going to go right in there. Right, C14 is 56 picofarads. Right next to it. That's going to go right there. And C16 is 820 picofarads. Interesting values. And that is C16, yes, it is. That's going to go right in there. Like so. Very good. Let's get those sorted in. Touch it up on the way past. There we go. Much nicer. And still straight. Yep. There we go. Very nice. I'm looking forward to putting those big radial caps on the back. That's what I'm looking forward to. Next, 47 microfarad, 40, 41, 42 and 43. So 40, 41, 42 and 43, that's these ones down here. And there we go. After trimming, where are we? That's what we just put on. After trimming, there we go. Next, 2.01 microfarad capacitors in C30 and 38. So let's do that because that was better with the shorter legs. So let's do the same thing again. There we are. Clean the tip. Clean your tip and keep your legs crossed. That's my advice. There we go. Flux fume residue there. There we are. Thing's starting to take shape already. Right, next, capacitor radial caps, 3 of them. Could it be these little fellas here? Value is 10 microfarad. Are these 10 microfarad? They are. 25 volt. Yeah, 34, 46 and 50. There's a beautiful symmetry to a lot of this board. It's a lot of things are in pairs. You see this beautiful arrangement here. Let's stop for a moment and appreciate the planning and the aesthetic. Seriously, the aesthetics that went into this. This is obviously a dual pokey part of the board, so it lends itself to a certain amount of symmetry. But yes, it's almost like town planning from the 1930s, where you could imagine these are the perhaps housing blocks, and these are the communal areas in between where the two the two living areas can converge and interact. It's really very much what's going on here, in a sense. And look at these beautifully arranged vias diagonally. Kind of a, I don't know what statement's being made with them, but it's very dynamic. Let's just take the time to appreciate that. Right, we'll solder these fellas on. Yeah, some sort of orientation error with something like this is going to be a bitch to try and figure out later on, so we want to try and get things on the right way around if possible. It's going to help a lot. Right, next in the list, 47, these lovely, beautiful red radial capacitors here, absolutely fantastic. And these ones are going in C32 and 36. So let's snip these nice and short. 32 and 36. Am I correct? Yes. 32. 32, there we go. And 36. See, 36, there we are. Even though the negative terminals face the same way on the board, it's just, mwah, mwah. Perfection. I really do appreciate details like that. An eye for detail. Michael definitely has an eye for detail. Okay, look how pretty it is. Look how nice it's becoming already. If I can try and get it in the light. Yeah, there we are. Isn't that pretty? Next, we're getting towards the end of the capacitors here. We've got 3 left, and great, and 3 of them are huge ones. So we've got 1000 microfarad, which is this green chap right here, and this one goes into C39, which is right in front of me here, again with the negative terminal beautifully pointed to the side of the board. Very nice. So let's solder this fella in here. And I have to say I've really enjoyed this so far. Much more than I thought I would. Once the donkey work of those tiny caps is out of the way, the next most irritating thing is obviously going to be resistors, and then we'll put the sockets on and all the headers and things like that, but after that starts becoming fun. So these big mofos here, 4700 micros, and these fellas are going to go on the back. I'm almost tempted to leave these off actually, because what's going to happen is the board's going to become tremendously unmanageable when I'm putting sockets in. So I might actually leave these to last. I think that would be a good idea actually. So I'm going to put these back in the other caps bag. I so want to put them on, but God, yeah, I so want to put them on. Believe me, I do. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to exercise restraint. I really am. So just so that the board remains relatively flat until we get the rest of the capacitors and resistors on, or rather the rest of the resistors on, because I just think it's going to become a little bit difficult to manage if we put these on now. So we save that. Going to be a fun job for towards the end. So, where are we now? If we have a look, where have we got to? we could probably press on a little bit further. LEDs, diodes. Well, we could put some diodes on. Let's put some diodes on, and then we'll leave the resistors to the end. So we've got diodes. There we go. Some diodes here. Unmarked. No idea what the fuck they are. We can probably deduce what's what from the quantities. So, for example, if we have a look at this, is a 4001, so it should be relatively easy if we look in the diode section. Semiconductors, there we are. So 1N4001, there's two of them. What are you? Well, let's put these big boys on. Right, these big diodes. There we go. And that's on there. It doesn't sit straight, so we'll move it a little bit. There we are. Okay, so let's have another look at what we've just done there. And now we can do the other legs. Okay, that's pretty crowded actually. There we go. Alright, what else have we got here? Where the fucking diodes going? Ah, right. Okay, so I've figured out where these go. It's perfectly obvious. So let's put them in. Alright, so we've got this power area of the board starting to take shape. Now these some very interesting looking components here. Some LED things and most interesting. Most interesting. I think these can all go back into the bag for now so that I don't lose them. Got a big resistor there. I think that needs to go on. I suspect that's a 2907. I've got two of them. Oh, have I got two of them? $2907, yeah. That's 2907. Let's put this in. PN2907 transistor. I remember when with the XEL I took the trouble the day before I started to go through every single thing and label it up. Now a lot of the stuff in this kit is labelled, but some of it isn't. So I keep having to leave off and go off and read the numbers on the components in a strong light so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Right, I'll put these lights back in here. And crystals now. Right, so what we got here this green thing. What the hell is that? Where does it go? Ah, there we go. Found you, little bastard. Oh, it's an inductor. Well, it goes down here. Of course. We get rid of some of these difficult components so we can have an easy time with resistors next time. This I happen to know is an inductor and it goes down here. L3